Hello guys, let's continue the presentation of the RadCORE project. Well, I'm going to fire up our RC elements here, and now we're going to look at another feature of RadCORE. So I want to tell you now about clone components. Okay, so imagine that, as I said earlier, we have a block that's collapsible, right? A block that's collapsible, right? We can open and close it dynamically, but I need such within that same structure. I need to have two more blocks here in my project, so I want to have three options of blocks that can be collapsed. Okay, so RadCORE will help you in this construction. Okay, so imagine that I have this here, or even okay, guys, it's this here. I'm talking at the same screen level, but I can have another form in which I want to take advantage of the same collapse block and simply I want to transport it there. Okay, but there on the other screen there are already other predefined blocks and I need the blocks to fit together in the right way. So this component clone feature we'll see. How can it be useful? Okay, so let's just recap our structure. So I have here the block 10, the 20, the 1 has our label, the block 30, the edit, the label, right, of each of the blocks, the 40, okay, up to my block 60, okay. I'm going to then do what I'm going to take my block, I'm going to come over here in my copy towel and throw it to my clipboard. I'm going to now click on my scroll box, which is that's where I want to create my clone. So I'm going to open up here the context menu, OK, and I'm going to click simply on my clone components. OK, I'm going to give here the OKO, and there it's automatically cloned the same card that we had here with all its structures and such were cloned, and there my last block here who was O. It was block 60, so automatically my first block right after this block here, it's my block 70, it's the RC elements, it's continuing the sequence of blocks, so you'll see here that I'm going to have 70, 80 or 90, it goes on giving continuity to our last block quiet beauty. I'm going to take run here this same block switch and I'm going to again switch and I'm going to again run here my clone and it gives OK good. So now my last block here, which was the 120, I now have here my 130. OK, let's compile that. Man here and let's see the result good. So now we have the three blocks, one next to the other, okay, with all the resources, so we settled, so the way I said to stay already closed, right, etc., it's all here, closed, okay, good me. I'm just going to put it here in mobile mode so we can see this effect here. Oh, I clicked on the middle block, automatically, the block at the bottom reduces its size. I clicked on the top block, the others are reducing and so on. Okay, so people are seeing how everything works, like this. In an integrated way, everything is perfect. Okay, now there's just a curiosity, right? When we created our first block, we pointed out that the block that was going to receive the effect of opening for it to close was block 10, but now if it was copied, why is it? Right, it's working correctly for the other blocks, because now the block that this guy has that is aligned is 70 and the block that this guy who will have to be aligned is 130, okay, otherwise this wouldn't be working. Well, guys, it's simple, the resource cloning will automatically detect what was the equivalent of the block we had originally, okay, and then with that, it automatically replaces, okay, the correct block, so you don't have to worry about making this change, the cloning of the component already works. Okay, now I'm going to do another demo. I'm going to remove this guy from here, so and so. So imagine that I have in my sequence of blocks during development, you had the block, right, the 10, the 20, the 30, and the last block, which is the 60, okay? And then you who were creating other blocks and then skipped the block that for 130 or something like that. Imagine that you are needing to insert this component between these two sequences just like that. Just to recap, when we activate the RC elements, it will always automatically capture which one was. The last block sequence that it found on the screen, and it's from there that it's going to process the creation of components or cloning if you want. Okay, so imagine that I want to put between these two guys here. Okay, I want to put a block in here. Okay, and create anything that you see my head. Okay, so I've got from my block 60 up to my block 130 a range to be able to add new components. So I'm going to open up here my RC elements. Okay, and then I'm just going to put the what was my last block 60, which is this guy here, because I want to create something before this one, and then instead of using a sequential one of 10 in 10 I want to use just one of 5. Okay, and then simple like that. Oh, I'm going to now take it and I'm going to create right within my structure. I'm going to create hero 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to give OK. What did hardcore do to people like and such? So I have here my last block, which was the 60. Now I have my block. '65 my block 70, 75 and 80. I'm going to compile my project. I'm going to leave here from mobile so and so, and now I have my sequence hero of blocks. There you observe. Oops, it got weird. Of course. Let's remember our first several videos. Okay. I've got a block here on my card that it only has 6 columns. I've created 4 blocks of 3 columns. If this guy has 6, automatically these 2 blocks came to complete my 12, and successively the others came in perfect sequence. So this here, nothing else is. What are we always remembering about the premise of using responsive blocks, okay? So for us to do a quick correction here, I'm going to trigger here my EC elements. Oops, sorry, it's here on the other monitor. I'm going to activate my EC elements and I'm going to say that this guy here has 12 columns. I'm going to say that this guy here has 12 columns, and I'm going to compile again. My project is done, so now everyone is where it should be, right? So everything working normally, it's right, and everything also working normally. On mobile, okay, we can see the evolution that we're having in these few videos, right, that we've already seen, okay, so it's very interesting that we follow the facilitating features that hardcore brings to us. So we saw here in this video another interesting detail, that was the cloning of components that can help you both insert components at intervals of other pre-existing blocks, as well as allows you to clone a group of components and take these components into another form that also includes other components without conflicts, right? Well, understood. We'll see you in the next video. A hug and see you soon.